If you have a clear vision, you will have a clear goal. Do not let the goal of your parents or your neighbors or your girlfriends thrown upon you. We want you to be a doctor, we want to be a millionaire, or whatsoever. Please make sure you don't do that, because do not live somebody else's life. That's the number one reason why goals fail. Number two is find out what you want to do in life, or what exactly you love. Unless you are very passionate about what you do, your goal is always going to fail. And the third part of the first step, as I say, how to get there, is very important for you. Now I'm coming to the second part, my second advice. So the first advice is three questions: why do you need a goal? What all it's going to do to your life after you get to your goal? And number three, how is it going to how you are going to achieve your goal step by step by step. So first three questions. Second thing is, everybody heard about the 80s preaching of smart goals. You ask any company, oh, we have a smart goal. We are very specific, very important. Smart goals, setting a smart goal is very important. S stands for specific. Your goal has to be very specific. Like I said, you have to have a clear vision about your goal. Now, M stands for measurable. If you cannot measure it, there is no point, setting up a goal that cannot be measured. A is attainable. Are you attainable? Like, okay, say for example, for some reason I lost my leg, and now I have set up a goal that I am going to climb the Everest. Now think about it. Is it quite attainable for me in this life period at least? So those are the questions we need to be asking. It has to be relevant, and it has to be time bound. Those are the SMART, SMART goal. Everybody has read about it. I want to add three words to it. One is passion. P stands for passion. If you don't have passion for your goal, if you are not passionate about your goal, if it doesn't excite you every day about what what your goal is, you're not going to get there. Write it down. It's very important, because I think people know about the 79 study of Harvard, where they did a survey. 84% of the surveyed people did not have any goals. 13% had goals, but they kept that in mind, and only 3% wrote them down. And then they went back to those folks in 10 years from that, 1989, and they found out that those 3% that wrote their goals down made almost double the income, or successful in life. I'm never saying that income means success. Success comes from a lot of derivatives other than income also. But it was found that those 3% shined the most. Then came those 13%. Then came those 84%. So write them down. No matter you may have a computer, you may have a note reminder, whatsoever. Write down your goal and think long term. I have seen people deviating from the long term goals due to distractions. Do not let that happen. So smart goal, my second advice, smart goal, add PWL to it. Passion, write it down, and think long term. Now, the third portion I'm going to elaborate on is have an action plan, which is kind of, how to get to that goal. Like Usain Bolt, everybody heard the fastest man in the world right now. He runs a 100-meter dash in less than 10 seconds. But look at his prep time. It's hours and hours of practice, hours and hours of diligence, hours and hours of perseverance. So if you have a proper vision, if you're like talking about the vision, even in your holy scriptures like Ramayana, Dronacharya was training his disciples. When he called Duryodhan, what do you see on the tree? He said, I see the tree branches and the tree leaves, this, I see other stuffs. Bhima, what do you see? Oh, I see all the fruits in the trees. Yudhishthir, what do you see? I see the whole tree, I see the nature, I see the hills at the backdrop. Arjuna, what do you see? I just see the eye, Guruji. Well, we are all standing beside you. What do you see, Arjuna? I just see the bird's eye. That's called a clear vision. He only sees the eye. That's how you're going to end up, achieving your goal. But remember, a lot of practice, uh, each action you take every day, each piece of action, always think about it. Is it contributing to my larger goal? I took this action today. Your larger goal is, you have already defined it. Is it contributing or is it not adding value? In that way, you will get to make choices in life that are more productive and that are more oriented towards the goal you have already set for yourself. Now, stay away from any kind of negativity, like I mentioned in my first video. Even if you say that, okay, what is the average human being? What is the number between 1 and 5? It's 3. What is the number between 1 and 10? It's 7. What is your favorite bird? It's peacock. What is your favorite animal? It's tiger. And what's your favorite flower? It's rose. You do an average sampling, that's the answer you get. Now, the thing is, if you do an average sampling on 31st of December, what is your New Year's resolution? Oh, I want to lose some weight. I want to cut down on smoking. I want to cut down on my alcohol intake. I understand, cutting down on smoking, but have you planned through it? Do not use any negative word, cut down. Rather say, I want to live a healthier life in going into next year or going into 2018. So that is something very important. Also, surround yourselves with people that are positive minded, that have created that goal. Say, for example, I want to climb the Everest. So I want to make some phone calls to those people that have already climbed the Everest and ask them what are their biggest hurdles, or what were some of the challenges they faced, or how they did what to reach what their ultimate goal was to climb the Everest. How were they successful? Get tips from them. It's very easily available. And surround yourself by your positive people. You know what it does? Every time you try to deviate from that, if I try to quit smoking and next time I catch a cigarette, one of my friends will remind me, hey, remember, you made a promise not to smoke another one. So, have a positive influence on your goal. That's number 4. Number 5, small wins teach you how to win big. When I went to America as a student, first thing I picked up over there, one of the first things I picked up was American football. It's a 100-yard ball field. Everything is divided into 10 yards. And you get 3 downs to cross that 10 yards. And then you start again with your first down. So those are the small wins. Everything is important. If I want to make $1 million, my first $1,000 matters to me. That's a small win. Celebrate it. Give yourself some credit for it. Then go for the next 1,000. Then go for the next 1,000. That's how it's called building block process. Unless every time, this is another reason why people fail, is you make $1,000 and then you think that, man, $1 million is so, and I'm just 50 years old, I will never make it. That's exactly, do not let that discourage you. In Robin Sharma's words, he says grit. You fall down, you rise again. You fall down, you rise again. It's the Rocky movie, Sylvester Stallone. He gets it, he rises again. That's called perseverance. That's the grit that you need to have. In Robin Sharma's word, full credit to him. Think about the American football. Celebrate your small wins. You'll get there. Do not ask for too much too soon. Like I'm going to say later also, quote Bill Gates, that a normal human being over expects what he can do in 1 year and underestimates what he can do in 10 years. We always challenge ourselves to be doing so many things in a so much limited time rather than spacing it out. Spacing it out, we underestimate our abilities. But when it comes to a concise package, we try to deliver everything in one step or 5 steps. That's not always possible. Last of the 6 steps, never change your goals. I have been working in corporates. I have seen forecast coming in, the budget coming in, then comes a reforecast. Why do you have to do a reforecast? Okay, I understand some businesses are climate oriented and there may be a natural disaster occurring somewhere, you have to answer to your stockholders that okay, here's why how the stocks are going to go down. So investment needs to be here and there. But think about it. If you are a leader and you are going to compromise on the standard, I'm sorry to say you are not a good leader. You do not. And the thing is, the funnier part of this story is on 15th of a month, I have asked sales managers, division managers to make a mid-month forecast. After 15 days are over of that month, and 50 or 60% of them missed that reforecast. How are you sitting in that chair? If you do not know the forecast, if you do not know, if you have not mapped out the error-proof way of reaching there, or maybe things do happen. You get a chance, you get an opportunity to reforecast. It's like getting a second chance in the exam to pass. You know exactly where you failed. It's taken for granted that you have studied that chapter, your deficiency, and you're going to take the test so that you can pass this time. And if you fail again, I don't know what to tell you. You do not qualify for that position. So these are the 6 steps. Number 1 is 3 questions: why, what, how. Number 2 is have a smart goal with PWL, with a lot of passion. Write it down and think long term. Number 3, have a solid action plan. Baby steps towards the big win. Preparation. Remember Usain Bolt. Remember the Bhagavad Gita. What it is telling you. Lot of work goes behind the scene. For the actual performance is nothing. A lot of hard work, lot of planning, lot of trips and falls. Never get discouraged. Stay away from negativity. Number 4, phrase everything positive. Surround yourself with positive people. Number 5, small wins. American football. Celebrate each small win that you get. After each down, slowly and slowly you move towards the final touchdown. Get yourself 6 points and the free kicker for 1 point. Now, the 6th point is never change your goals. There is nothing called reprojection or nothing called I cannot hit. You will get abused. You will get, discouraged. You will get bullied at. Your perseverance matter. Do not change your goal. Remember, all those steps appeared in the beginning. You have set a clear vision. You have not inherited somebody's goals. Now, after you have done these things, 6 things that I advised, remember the things why people fail to achieve their goals. Make a note of yourself too. Do not create a goal to impress others. It never works. Okay? Others' goals thrown upon you, like your parents, they wanted to become a doctor. They are saying that, hey, you become a doctor. Whether you actually love geography. So pursue something in geography. Don't let other people's goals be your goal. Bill Gates' concept, remember, do not overestimate yourself in 1 year and underestimate what you can do in 10 years. Think long term. No short term remedies are there for the big achievers. Of course, you have to understand that